Hi, I'm Evita Myriam. I have many young clients and patients, and some of them are on the age of 18, 20. No, it seems that everyone at that age has more or less the same problems. Um, Especially with girls, I find that the problem in their love life, mainly it's their love life and their parents and their self-esteem, and with boys as well. But the thing is, in their love life, people who are insecure, and I assure you that many, many, many people are insecure, and most people are insecure, and low self-esteem or lack of self-confidence is something that most people have. So people who are insecure, what they do, their problem is that when they become in love or they have a relationship, they become very, very attached to the person. So the problem is that they become, completely dependent. So it's like this, like when, you're together 2 days, 3 days, then, the fourth day you feel that it's not so warm anymore and you panic or you start thinking that something has changed and this and that. So from the energy point of view, when you're thinking that this person doesn't want me anymore, doesn't love me anymore, is not thinking of me anymore, this person can feel that. They can feel it, they know it, even if you say nothing. This is how it happens, that whenever you're anxious, the other person is just not calling. Whenever you're desperate, the other person is not giving you any attention. This is the law this is an energy law. There's nothing you can do about it. There's only one thing you can do. You can learn to detach. My teacher, Master Choa Sui, speaks about detachment. He says that, yes, you can be attached to the person. You can love, you can need, you can want, you can desire. But then you have to learn to detach also. Like you're with a person, you're having an amazing time. Then you go away for a couple of days or you go home and then you're fine, right? You're fine, which means, how do you do that, right? How do you do that to be fine without the one who fills your life, etc.? Well, this is how you do it. You have to be the one who fills your life. I know this sounds hard to do, but all you have to do is take that energy that you're feeding that other person constantly and put it back on yourself. It's good to give love, but we have to have some measure. You have to give with measure, you know. You can give, but you don't give all yourself, you know. So even if you give all yourself, which is not very intelligent to do, because when you give all yourself, what will remain for you? If you tell everything about yourself, all your secrets, everything, the magic will be gone very quickly. But the important thing is that you know how to have a good time by yourself. And to do that, to be able to have composure and fun and a good time by yourself and not to be needing someone to have a good time, you need to cultivate yourself. You need to cultivate yourself, and it's very easy. How you cultivate yourself? You are an independent human being. Even if your money depends upon what your parents will give you, you're very young, even if your money is very little, you just started working or are still a student, you have to realize that you will have a choice always between spending your money on stupid things, spending your money on buying your friends drinks or on just stupid things, or you can spend your money in buying a ticket to go to the opera. You may say, the opera, you old-fashioned lady, what are you talking about? Well, if you go to the opera, you will know what I'm talking about, and you'll have this experience. Let me tell you something. Life experience is something that you absorb. It comes in, like if you go to a concert, what happens is that this music that you listen to changes you. It makes you deeper. It makes you more essential, more substantial. You get to know yourself better. You know why? Because inside you, there is like a zillion points of light that are very dim. And every time you have an experience, that experience lights up one of the little lights inside you, or many of the lights inside you. And this is how we get to know ourselves. We know ourselves through resonance, through whatever lights up inside us. You know, it's like the synapses in the brain. You see something, you hear something, the synapses make connections, and you understand, you learn. In the same way, we have so much knowledge. We have so much emotion, so much knowledge, so many things that we don't even know or remember from before we were born. So we have so much inside us. All we have to do is to awaken it within ourselves. And to awaken this, you have to go out of the normal trodden path that everybody goes. I understand it's very hard. You want to be popular, you want to be loved, but you know, you will never be more loved than if you are an individual, if you are a personality, if you're yourself. People will love you because you will be different. And in any case, you know, people, when they know you, they love you for who you are, right? You meet someone and they fall in love with you, or they like you, or they become friends because of who you are. Because when they meet you, they just see who you really are in a way, you know? And then they like that. And then you start changing yourself in order to please them. And you start compromising, trying to become like them because that's what you think they want. No, they want you as you were when they met you. They don't want you trying to become them or trying to agree with them. So you have to realize that we are all unique, and you will be loved only when you are yourself. And, you know, also all these things that you have around, you know, I see girls today, they're beautiful, but, you know, really, I mean, they can be more beautiful if they find their natural beauty. It's like girls today don't believe that they have natural beauty. I mean, it's as if they think that only if they put fake eyelashes and like nails up to here and shorts, they dress naked. You know, it's like the way they dress. And they think that this is going to make them sexier. And why do you want to be sexier? So that everyone will want to sleep with you? Is that what you really want? Don't you want to be loved? Don't you want to be appreciated for who you really are? Don't you want to set the standards a bit higher and to find someone who will love you for who you are and be, you know, have a great communication with him and make each other happy and allow each other to evolve in parallel and to change and not imprison yourselves in this forever we will be together as we are now, which is impossible. You're not dead. So you will change. So in any case, my advice as an older lady is find who you are by having life experience in moderation without doing ugly things or without risking your life, you know, or doing dangerous things like drugs or alcohol. Just do, I mean, alcohol, you can have a wine, a glass of wine or a drink, you know, but not 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Perhaps you can have a second drink, but aren't you getting drunk with a second drink? I mean, just be honest to yourself. And if you're drunk, then are you a nice sight? Does it really feel so good not to have full control of your body, not to think clearly? It doesn't feel good, you know. It is peer pressure. It's pressure from the others. So by trying to please the others, you know, invariably, inevitably, we arrive at the position when we are like their slaves. What you have to do when people suggest that you do something that you don't want, you just say, no, I don't want that. That's not my style. you know. And then if they say, oh, are you serious? You used to be like this and that and that. You can always say, I have changed. And this is amazing because it's so liberating to them. You liberate them as well. You allow them to also change. They realize that, this cool person here just told them that they have changed, because you will change again and again and again. You cannot be enslaved by your mistakes of the past. We all make mistakes. Don't allow anyone to ever, imprison you by your image. You're always free to change. You have the right to be whoever you want. And we have a potential that is unfolding. We're not who we were. Whatever mistake you have done, trust me, you have done much more good just by smiling, just by giving a hug to someone or to your parents. You're a good person. Bad people are people who repeatedly and with pleasure do very, very painful things to others, and they know it and they like it and they don't suffer from that, So, good people are so many more than bad people. Whatever you do, just forgive yourself, let go, change, and say, I'm not that anymore. This is how we change, right? It's so easy. All you have to do in order to change, right, is you have to see your mistake and say, do I like being that doormat that everybody's like dragging around? No. What do I have to do? Nothing. I just saw that I was that, and I'm just saying, I don't want to be that anymore. I have changed. And then the next time someone is trying to convince you to be someone you're not, you say, no, thank you. I am who I am. I have these values. This is not ethical. This is not right. You can say that. This is not good. Recently, we have been driven toward, the right and wrong has been a little bit muddy. And it's as if being good is not good anymore. It's not true. Everybody wants the same thing. Every human being wants to be loved, wants to have a beautiful life, to be in a beautiful nature, or in a beautiful city, or sometimes in a beautiful nature, sometimes in a beautiful city, to have a lovely home, to have a loving other who will adore them, and they will have amazing communication and take road trips together in silence, listening to music. Everybody wants these things. Nobody says, no, I just want to suffer. No, this is pretense. It's pretense. If you want to suffer, it's because you want to punish yourself. Well, I have news for you. There is a higher being, there is a higher power who doesn't want you to suffer, forgives you. Whatever you have done, you're forgiven. So who are you not to forgive yourself? So also about cultivating yourself. You have the right, as young as you may be, to go. I mean, if it is legal, right? And if you have the right legally, I'm not talking to minors now. I'm talking about people who are like, they have the right to go to the cinema by themselves, right? You have the right to go and watch a good movie. If all your friends want to see something stupid, something with violence, horror, whatever, you have the right to go and see something really different and see, what are these movies about? What are these good films about? Or you can read a book. Young people today, I understand that they don't read, they don't read. And I'm going to extend this video a bit more by sharing an amazing story with you very briefly. When I was very young, eons ago, when I was around 35 years old, 35, I used to go into bookstores and I would look for the Book of the Jungle. That is a classic for younger people, and I would look for the Book of the Jungle because I remember that when I was young, I had the ideal Book of the Jungle with the most beautiful images inside. And the images, it would be like the greenest grass with the dews, painted dew drops, and the full moon was amazing. And the panther had this amazing sapphire eyes and black, fur. Everything was magical in those images in my book, but I had lost it. I couldn't find it. Now, my parents' place was covered in books. So there were books everywhere, books on chairs, books in every room. And I couldn't find it. I was looking for it. And every time I would go back to my parents to have lunch with them, I would say, where is that book? Can you find it for me? And every time I would go in a bookstore, I would open this another edition. And I would look, and the images would look really horrible. Like they were really like cartoons that had no magic, no beauty, nothing, It was really, really not wholesome, not appealing cartoons. And I was like, oh, this is so boring, I would love to find that book for some reason. You know why? What was the reason? Oops, that's my dog. My book of the jungle here. So the reason was that one day I go to my parents' place and I found that book of my childhood on the entrance table in the hallway. So I opened that book, and in that book, I was so happy, I just like went, oh my God, now I'm going to see those images again. I opened it and there was not one image in the book, nada, nothing, not one. It was all the best, most ideal images that my brain had created. My best grass, my best panther, my best full moon. That's what literature does. It makes you experience everything. It makes you create your own images, and they're the best. So if you want to watch 1-minute videos on TikTok, okay, go ahead. But I'm telling you, there's a treasure out there. There are amazing books. And if, you want amazing books, you want a list of amazing books, you can always, contact me at evitamyriam@hotmail.com. And I'm going to send you, I'm going to find my lists of books because I've read a lot. And I'm going to send you a few books, titles that are amazing for your age and for your interests, right? So there are amazing books that you cannot put them down. You just enter the book, you just start reading. You can't put them down. You stay up all night reading the book. You don't fall asleep with a good book. It's amazing. So if you don't have that experience and everything is fast, this is tiring you, technology is tiring you. You cannot be in front of a computer all the time. You have to go out to meet real people, meet friends, make friends, talk to strangers. I mean, not to older strangers, to your age, to people your age. Don't talk to anyone. If your intuition tells you not to approach someone, don't. Just, be more communicative. Don't be ashamed. Don't be so shy. Everyone feels the same. Everyone is trying to pretend that nobody's looking at them and that they're not seeing anyone. And they're all alone in a room. Why? Why to do that? It's better to go somewhere and communicate. Just talk easily to others and learn new things. And imagine, what would you like to do? Would you like to learn horseback riding or to play chess or to do something, not necessarily a sport, but to learn something, to learn to play musical instrument, to learn to speak Japanese? You can do it. I thought learning a language was, actually, that's not true exactly, but I thought learning an Oriental language was very difficult, like Japanese. And I have this young friend, and she's my client, and she said to me the other day, I'm learning Japanese. I said, I'm so proud of you. I mean, you speak 4 languages and you're learning Japanese now. So that's great. And I asked her, how long did it take you to learn the Japanese alphabet? Because it's totally different, right? It's like hieroglyphics almost. It's very different. You've seen Japanese, how it looks. So it's like, for me, just to learn the alphabet seemed difficult. And she said, actually, it took me a week. And I was impressed. I said, she's a very clever girl. And she said, no, it's not about being clever. This is how it is. It only takes a week to learn the Japanese alphabet. And I realized that, of course, when you learn something, the first lesson is you don't know anything. Then you learn something. Then the second lesson, you learn something more. Then you learn something more. And then after a few lessons that those who are teaching you know exactly how to administer to you, you can understand Japanese or whatever else you want to learn. So just find something that is going to expand your mind, expand your mind. Don't try to please the masses. Don't try to please others, because others are following like sheep. One is following the other, and where they're going, it's like, it sounds so intelligent. And those video games, with killing monsters and all that, that's not healthy. And, you will have children. You don't want your children to be doing that all day. It's better to make them a little garden, or even if you don't have a garden, you have a pot in your, in your home, a pot, and then you can put a tomato plant and it's going to become like this, huge. You teach them how to cultivate a tomato plant. It's more interesting. It's really more wholesome and healthy than playing those video games. And then you have to expose yourself to art, like this friend of mine, she asked me recently, very young friend, she asked me, what kind of art? Like Picasso? I said, Picasso was like a century ago, almost, like Picasso was not almost, he was a century ago. So you cannot think that Picasso is something contemporary. You have to cultivate yourself. You have to know. And she said, yeah, how about those things that is a white thing with a cross? I said, yeah, right. Between Picasso and that thing with a cross, there is an enormous world of beauty and feeling and mind. You have to cultivate your mind. You don't have to understand anything, you just have to look at it and let it work in you. So that's my advice for you. If you're younger, or if you're not younger and you just want some advice, just, be yourself. See, that's my cue. Thank you. Bye.